we're going to a topic that is a bit negative, or not a bit, very negative. It's not something that we want to see. It's not something that we want to hear. But we talk about things on Nigeria FC podcast. Excuse me. So we're going to talk about this. One of our own players has been the subject of negative reports. A player that's currently injured, but now we're hearing that could potentially be facing a lengthy ban if found guilty. I'm talking about our Super Eagles goalkeeper, Maduka Okoye. If you haven't seen it, it's been in the news recently that there's potential, betting that happened, or the investigators found that in one of his matches, an unusual amount of money was placed on him to get booked in that game. And he did get booked in that game. So now they are investigating the possibility that it was the only way to put it, a match fixing scenario. Because if you intentionally agree to get a yellow card for betting purposes, there's no other name to call it except match fixing. I when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this player is going through enough already from people from Nigerian fans, injury. I'm like, he's going through enough. I really, really, like, I pray so much to God that it is not true. I pray so much to God that it did not happen. I pray so much to God that he did not do it intentionally. I pray so much to God that they are not able to find any link between the people that placed the bets and him. I pray so much to God that this is just a misunderstanding. This is just a conspiracy. This is just a mistake. Or maybe it was another name and maybe it was a Caleb Okoli and they thought it was Maduka or something. I just pray so much to God that this is not real. Because if he does get banned, this Super Eagles that we've been talking about, after he's been having a good time for Udinese, just be the worst thing that can happen at the worst possible time for him. And of course, I don't know how he's going to look for him, even with potential opportunities in the future. To be fair, I mean, look at Tonali. Tonali is balling for Newcastle, so hey, he's not the biggest player in the world. And I would also say, I gamble. I've promoted gambling companies in the past on my platform. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, oh, everybody should be gambling, things like that. But again, in certain professions, there are certain rules and regulations that you need to follow. And it's not news to us. We know that footballers are not allowed to either gamble themselves or to collaborate with people, whatever the case that, comes to gambling. I've been in certain positions in the past whereby, because of my relationship with certain players, maybe a month before they move to a new club, the player has told me that he's joining that club. I can decide to go and carry my life savings and go and bet that, just imagine maybe I'm friends with Osimhen and Osimhen has told me he's joining Chelsea. I can go and carry my life savings and place bets. Osimhen will sign for Chelsea. But then people obviously have to, if you are close to footballers, you have to also have the wherewithal that your actions can put them in trouble. That's why I always say, like, people need to surround themselves with people that are looking out for them and their own best interest. Not because you want to make a quick buck, you're going to put a player that is your friend in potential trouble. I just want to believe that this has to be some kind of mistake. Somebody said it's because he's black. I disagree. It's not because he's black. Tonali was not black when they investigated him. It has happened to several people in the past. Gambling is something that is so promoted. It is so pushed in our faces. Some people are addicted to it. It's a problem for some people. So I'm not going to go as far as say it's a racist attack or anything like that. I just pray that it comes out that he's clean. It comes out that it was some kind of mistake, some kind of misunderstanding, and there's no punishment that he has to face. If it does turn out that he did it, I pray for the utmost leniency that they can give him so that he can get back on the field as quick as possible. But yeah, like, what do you have to say about this thing?
No, it's just sad, it's so sad, one of the worst, news. When I saw the news, I thought it was like a rumor. I thought that maybe probably some people just trying to generate content, but it's a sad thing, And what even makes me like, this thing is likely because for a goalkeeper to get booked, He's not
It's
a
is
defensive midfielder.
is always is the only two ways is either you concede a penalty or you waste time.
Yes,
Those are the two ways that keepers usually get.
yes, because not you waste time, except the go on. I remember the one for what's that guy? The guy in West Ham. That one was
Paqueta.
Paqueta. That one was so obvious. He went there to just clear the ball, and that one was obvious. So I just hope Maduka get out of this thing. Udinese went to the market in January already to sign the
Sign the
goalkeeper.
goalkeeper. Yeah.
Hearing that it's like they want to remove his name from the registered players for so the end of the season. It's sad. It's sad. I just hope that a magic somewhere will just happen, because the way I'm looking at it might probably be fine guilty, of this issue. I'm just looking at maybe the magic somewhere can come, and I hope that he can actually was, find himself. But for him too, I don't know how much. If it's true, I don't know how much. Maybe he was being cornered. I don't know what led him to that type of thing, because imagine, I don't know, I'm not promoting gambling, but it's your work. It's your work. If it's corner kick now, there's no way they can get that one. You won't go and get the booking. And no. For me, I just hope that it can actually recover, but it's not looking likely. And for someone that is already having issues domestically, having issues with
Having
Nigerians, having
issues in private life too.
yes, everything issues. I just hope that this thing will not consume this guy. I pray for him and I wish him the very, very best of luck. Udinese might decide to take him off their list. But for me, I just think that if he got too much setback in his life already, this is not just it. I think he will recover. I wish him luck.
I wish him all the best. And people that are asking about length of ban, I mean, 4 years is the maximum length that can come with it. The reality of it is that usually, if the player accepts guilt, apologizes, and then he has good defense lawyers, the ban will probably get reduced. But if you try to fight it and then they still find you guilty, that's when they might want to give you a serious punishment because you didn't play along. But typically, if you're able to say, okay, I hold my hands up, I did it, I'm sorry. If it was not too it was not too grievous an offense. It's not like you went to go and score one goal or something. So they can forgive you a little bit and just say, okay, maybe 1 year or 1.5 years, that type of thing. But I really, really hope that the news comes out that it was a misunderstanding and it was a mistake or something. I really hope so. Maybe it was just one day, one guy that had just have too much money. He just went to go and make a good gamble and it's paid off. Let's just hope that it was something like that and not that he actually connived with the footballer, because it's not a good thing. I don't like to hear or see our Nigerian players in this kind of news. It's not a good thing at all, and it also doesn't help our reputation either. But yeah, that is that on that. I don't want to get into it too much. But I see people are saying, somebody said village people at work. Somebody said it's just sad. Shout out to Amos Footballers Connect. Sports Global said maybe 18 months. Tonali got 1 year. Yeah. Somebody said he's cooked. I really hope that he's not cooked. Somebody said just like Ivan Tony. Yes, just like Ivan Tony. We saw. How long was Tony's ban?
No 1 year.
1 year. So let's hope that it's not true. And if it is true, let's hope for the utmost leniency from the governing bodies. Yeah. Somebody said, I bet almost every weekend that Osimhen will score, and I do win, so it can be the other way around. Do you place like crazy? Because again, it's different. If they have the analytics for all these things. Maybe usually the total amount of money that people usually place on you to get booked in a week is like 1,000 euros from all the different people, and then suddenly one particular week there is 1 million worth of bets placed on your head, and you now go and get it. And maybe that's the first time you are getting booked in the last 10 matches or something crazy like that. That's when it's raise red flags to people. They have systems that are in place to catch these things. They're not just guessing when they say something like this. But again, I hope it's not true. I hope it didn't happen. But let's wait and see what news we hear from that. Okay.